So I'm here with quantum surfer Nick Garcia. Nick, so nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
So maybe you can kick us off by telling us a little bit about yourself. I hear
Yeah,
that you have a new startup in the works.
that's right. Yeah, so I am an entrepreneur. I have been starting my own companies and working for other people's startups for the last 8 years or so. I'm from the Bay Area, so I've been around it, but I've definitely had my ups and downs in that space. And I just moved to Los Angeles, where I'm working on a new startup called Sotai Labs, which is an artificial intelligence platform that will be launching fairly soon. I don't think I'd have the job if I hadn't been thinking the way that you taught me to think in the class. So very thankful for that.
Well, that's really exciting to hear. I'd love to hear a bit more about that
Mhm.
because it was really fantastic to have you in the last cohort. So
Thank you.
maybe you can talk about what drew you to quantum surfing and then what the breakthroughs were.
Yeah. So when I first heard about it, it was from Viv, and
Mhm.
the way she pitched it to me sounded so interesting because I've always been into neuroscience, and I knew nothing about quantum mechanics, but I wanted to know more about it. And the way she phrased it grabbed my attention immediately, because I was honestly going through a really hard time as an entrepreneur. Things were not going our way, and I was working with a few different companies, and none of them were succeeding before. And so took the class and kind of learned how to take things in stride more and not keep myself down when things don't go your way, because when you're working on a startup, things are not going to go your way hardly. And yeah, taking the class definitely put me in this like a state of flow, I guess. And Viv said this to me too when I told her about how things were going after the class, is that I was in like this state of flow. So I looked into that a little more, and I think it's still a thing because things are going smoothly right now. So
Fantastic. I remember you coming to the class one day just with a whole armload of stories of lucky coincidences, which is what we focus on in Quantum Surfing One.
mhm.
Do you have one in particular that you remember that you might share with us?
Yeah, I have three actually that I can remember from that one week actually. So there are, let's see, there are three startups I was working with at the time, and one of them was near death, we'll say. It was about to go bankrupt, and I had been worrying about that every day. And one of the methods that you're taught in the class is to kind of just let go, right? And as soon as I did that, we had multiple offers come in for financings, some upwards of $50 million. So we just got saved out of the blue as soon as I took my hands off the wheel. That came out of nowhere. Um, and then on top of this, I was also stressing about finances because being an entrepreneur, you're always broke pretty much. And then soon after that, literally I think a day or two, I got the call to move down to Los Angeles and join the startup as a co-founder too. So that was another saving angel of mine that I give credit to the thinking that you're teaching. And then what was number three? Number three was also crazy. If it comes to me, I'll let you know. But those two were pretty significant.
Amazing. Amazing. I was thinking too, Nick, about that time that you came in, talking about how you said, okay, well, I'm an introvert. I'm not really someone who would, put myself out there, but I think I'll just give this idea of an intuitive wander a
Mhm.
whirl. And you ended up at the service station chatting it up with a guy who, funny enough, ended up being just the type of expert that you wanted to meet in NFTs.
That's right. And actually, I think I told Vivian this. Same thing happened once I moved to LA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so my co-founder said we need to meet someone who's professional in the AI space, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, and just kept it in the back of my head, like, yeah, I'll find that. I'll find that guy. And sure enough, a couple weeks later, a man approaches me at a restaurant. I guess I just looked like I was having a good time, and we start chatting. He tells me he's into AI. I told him I'm into AI, and I look him up, and this guy is like published author all over the news talking about AI. He's kind of been a mentor to me ever since that day. So got really lucky there.
So you're still surfing. This is
Oh,
wonderful.
still surfing.
I love to hear it, Nick. Really love to hear it.
Thank you.
So if someone came to you and said, all right, Nick, what do you think? Monica's offering quantum surfing courses. Should I sign up? What would you say?
Absolutely, you should.
Mm,
Class.
yeah,
Mhm.
thank you. Well, it was truly a joy to have you
Yeah,
in the last cohort. You added so much to our conversations, and
appreciate that.
fantastic to see everything taking off for you. Nothing could make me happier than all the lucky coincidences that keep flowing into your life.
I appreciate that. And I must say, I'm a much happier person after taking this class. I used to deal with a lot of anxiety and stress poorly. And um, the way of thinking that I have kind of adopted after this class has definitely just changed my mental state for the better.
Mm,
So I'll leave you with that.
that's a wonderful sentiment. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, of course.
Mm.
Happy to.